Do you ever feel like you just have too much on your plate? That there's just too many tasks, too many responsibilities, too many things to do, and too little time to do all of them? Maybe you feel that you have just way too many thoughts, and that might lead to kind of feeling frozen, stuck, unable to actually take action to do something about the lengthy to do list that you may have. And that just brings up this feeling, this flood of overwhelm in your body. Does that sound familiar? Or maybe you have an aspiration, a goal, a desire in your heart that you want to achieve. But whenever you start to take action in that direction, all of a sudden you notice this feeling of overwhelm in your body and you just shut down and you start to procrastinate. Does that resonate at all? If so, then stay tuned because in this video, we're going to talk about what overwhelm actually is and what it's maybe telling you. And of course, we're also going to talk about how you can start to overcome that so that you can tackle that to do list, which actually has nothing to do with why you're feeling overwhelmed. And also take consistent action in the direction of your heart's desires so that you can experience the life, the things that you want to experience in your lifetime. One thing I want you to understand is that overwhelm actually doesn't have anything to do with time or how much you have on your plate. It's actually a nervous system related quote unquote issue. And once you understand what's happening when you do feel overwhelmed, you can then start to finally move through that and overcome it. So I really want you to get it. Overwhelm is not about having too much to do. It is your nervous system signaling that whatever your circumstances are right now, whatever is in front of you, to your nervous system, it feels too much. It feels unmanageable right now. And it very likely feels unsafe. So, in other words, your nervous system is at capacity. But the good news is that we can work on that and we can expand your capacity to be with whatever is happening in your life and to expand your capacity to go for your dreams, do the things you want to do, and also expand your capacity to receive. So let's talk about what overwhelm actually is. Like I've already mentioned, overwhelm is not just you having too many things to do. It is a nervous system response. It is some unprocessed, unintegrated hurt or fear from your past. And now you're just experiencing that hurt or fear as pressure in this moment. So any overwhelm that you're feeling is very likely actually stemming from your past. There's some unintegrated hurt, fear that you haven't quite fully resolved, and you're projecting into this moment and very likely into the future as well. So it's really important that whenever overwhelm comes up, that you start to pay close attention to the stories that you're unconsciously telling yourself about why you're feeling overwhelmed in that moment. So you may already be conscious of some of the stories, or you may not be conscious at all. And so wherever you're at, the first thing that I would really invite you to do is to start paying attention to the stories. So oftentimes when people feel overwhelmed, there's a story like I can't do this. There's just too much happening. I can't be with this. I can't hold this. I can't deal with this. Or it can be like, I don't have time or the energy to do this. So that's step number one, is to just start to become aware of the stories that are triggering the feeling of overwhelm in your body. So these thoughts are just triggering a nervous system response in your body that feels as those overwhelming sensations in your body. And your nervous system is essentially just feeling threatened, and it's interpreting the stories or whatever is happening in your life at the moment as danger. And so that is why you go into this either fight, flight. Usually it's more in the like freeze response, meaning you start to withdraw, you start to shut down a little bit, and then it shows up oftentimes as procrastination. So, not taking action on the things that you really would like to take action on, and just numbing, distracting, and all those beautiful behaviors that we've all done. And before we move on, I really want to emphasize that you feeling overwhelmed maybe easily, it's not a sign of weakness or that there's anything wrong with you. It's just simply your body's way of, in a way, protecting you. It's a protective mechanism. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's actually a good thing that it's coming up, and it's an invitation for you to maybe slow down, to listen what's happening in your body, in your consciousness, and to regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system, maybe change the stories that you're telling yourself about the situation. And in doing all these things, you start to grow and expand your capacity to be with whatever life brings your way, because we can't control that. And I know that you have things that you want to do in your life that maybe they're the like causing you overwhelm right now. So I want you to be able to expand your capacity to be with things so that you can move in the direction of your dreams and desires and not let overwhelm hold you back. So now you know that overwhelm is essentially just your body and your nervous system signaling that it perceives a threat. It doesn't mean that there actually is a threat, but it perceives that there is a threat, that it's not safe. Essentially, that means that you're at max capacity. Your nervous system feels at capacity. But like I've said, you can expand that capacity. You can regulate your nervous system, and you can teach your body and your nervous system that you're safe and that you can hold more. You can be with whatever is happening. And gradually, you're going to start to expand your capacity. It's almost like you're going to expand your comfort zone, and the things that felt overwhelming and hard in the past start to become natural and more easeful. And you can take action even if overwhelm occasionally does come by. It happens. We're humans. It's natural. Like I said, it's a protective mechanism, but it does not mean that you should run away from it. Quite the opposite. Move toward that feeling of overwhelm and contraction. Not too much, but just that you're a little bit uncomfortable, that you feel a little bit overwhelmed, and then breathe through that and increase your capacity, increase your comfort zone. And you're gonna also expand your capacity to receive more amazing things in your life. So let's talk about how you can actually start to overcome this feeling of overwhelm. And I already mentioned that becoming aware of the stories or any other triggers that are bringing up the feeling and the sensation of overwhelm. So, whenever you feel overwhelmed next time, just pause for a moment and observe. observe what thoughts you may have. What are the stories that you might be telling yourself? Pay attention to what is currently happening in your life. Have you just had a lot going on, which is contributing to the feeling of overwhelm? Does overwhelm come up in a specific situation usually? Is it that maybe you're wanting to start your own business? You're wanting to share more about that online or with friends and family. And whenever you start to take action, you start to feel super overwhelmed and like you can't do it and you have so many things to do. Just pay attention to when does it come up? What's happening in your life? Is it usually related to a certain situation? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? And also notice what's happening in your body. Where in your body are you feeling the sensations of overwhelm? And once you've observed what's happening in your consciousness, in your body, just pause for a moment and just name the feeling. Just name it. Just say, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. There's something happening in my body. My nervous system must, for whatever reason, think that this is too much and I'm not safe. So even by just naming it and observing it, you're creating a little bit of distance between you and the feeling of overwhelm. So there's a little bit more space so that you're not identifying with the feeling and sensations of overwhelm as much. So it's like, I'm here and overwhelm is over there. And there's a little bit more distance and space so that you're not as caught up in how it feels to feel overwhelmed. And as you have more awareness and you start to notice the stories like, I can't do this is too much, see if you can start to shift your perspective, shift those stories. See if you can start to, instead of saying, I can't do this, maybe you can replace that with, this feels hard, but I can do hard things. I can do something small. I can take one tiny action step instead of freezing and procrastinating. And since this is a nervous system response, of course, it's really important that you use whatever regulation tools or practices that work for you to start to regulate your nervous system and signal to your body that I am indeed safe. I can hold this, I can be with this. So I'm going to do a separate video on some of the tools. So I'm actually going to guide you through a process that will deeply regulate your nervous system and bring you to a grounded, calm space. And you can use that video every day if you want. I'm going to make it short, like 10-15 minutes maybe. And you can use it daily, or you can use it in the moments when overwhelm comes up. And then you can use that video, that practice that I'll teach you, to just start to ground yourself and regulate your nervous system and teach it that I'm safe, everything's okay. So make sure to subscribe to this channel so that when that video or other similar grounding practices, nervous system regulating practices are released, and you'll be notified and you can start practicing them. So one practice that I can share right now, one thing that I have done personally, and I still do whenever I feel overwhelmed, is I get really attuned with my body. So I pay attention to where am I feeling in my body the sensations of overwhelm. So oftentimes it might be in my chest, or it might be somewhere a little lower, like in my belly. And once I kind of like locate where I'm feeling the sensations of overwhelm in my body, I just close my eyes and breathe into those sensations. So I get really curious, where am I feeling this? What does it feel like? Is it really heavy? Does it feel hot? Is it tingling? Is it like a feeling like a lump in my stomach? Is it like a fire in my chest? So just pay attention, observe, and then breathe into the sensations that I'm feeling. I'm reminding myself that this is just a feeling. These are just sensations that I'm feeling in my body, and I'm safe. And usually it doesn't take very long for me to simply breathe into the sensations, give myself maybe the reassurance and nurturance, affirming that I'm safe. It's okay. I can be with this. I can be with the sensations in my body. They're just sensations in the body. And very quickly, it usually starts to dissipate, and then I can move into action once I've regulated a little bit. So that's a practice that you can start to do. I absolutely swear by it. It works like a charm. And maybe if you try it after this, please let me know in the comments how you felt before and after you did this. And maybe the other steps that I've also mentioned before. And so, like I said, once you've regulated in whatever way you feel appropriate, then it's time to take action. So every time that you take even the smallest of action steps towards whatever you want to be doing, so maybe there's a goal that you want to achieve, but it keeps bringing up overwhelm any time that you try to move in that direction, and then you start to utilize that as a way for you to expand your nervous system capacity. And so once you've regulated, take action. Choose whatever action step that feels maybe a little bit challenging, but that it's still, that it's not too dysregulating, too challenging. So just a small step that you can take that previously felt not accessible, it felt unmanageable. And so every time that you take these small action steps, you're in a way showing yourself and your body that, I can do this. I don't need to do massive things right now. If I just take one tiny action step right now and you do it again and again and again, you're going to start to rewire the belief that I cannot do this. I cannot handle this. So it's about regulating, yes, but also showing yourself through action that I can hold more, I can do more, I can be with this. And that way you start to rewrite the stories of I can't do it, or whatever other stories that you might have had in the past. So before we wrap up, I just want to gently remind you that overwhelm is not about your to-do list. It is not about how much time or energy you have to do something. It is about your nervous system and its capacity to hold whatever is going on in your life. And it's usually something unprocessed, unintegrated from your past. Something that happened that you're still carrying that energy with you, and this current circumstance or event or whatever it is that's happening is just bringing that up in your present moment. But just remember, feeling overwhelmed, it's human. We all feel that way sometimes. And it's not that you're weak or that there's anything wrong with you. It's actually just a sign that your nervous system is doing its job. It's trying to protect you when it feels that something is too much. But it's also an invitation for you to expand your nervous system's capacity, to teach your body that you are safe in this moment, that you are okay, and you can take, even if it's small, actions towards whatever you want to create in your life. So start to also shift your story and your perspective on overwhelm itself. So usually it's easy to say it's bad, it's a weakness, there's something wrong with me, but that's not the case at all. It's just your body doing its thing, working as it was intended to. However, oftentimes the triggers and the things that our body perceives as danger are actually not danger at all. So that's why we get to work on these things and reprogram into our body, into our nervous system, that the things that it may perceive as danger are actually safe, and then move forward with whatever we want to create in our lives. So in the next video, I will be guiding you through a simple yet very powerful nervous system regulation practice. And you can use that daily if you want, or you can use that whenever you feel like you need it, whenever overwhelm is showing up in your life. So be sure to check that one out as well. And let me know in the comments, when have you noticed overwhelm showing up in your life? And is it usually to do with something specific? Or, yeah, what have you observed about how overwhelm is showing up in your life? I really want to know. So let's talk about that in the comments. And please remember to also subscribe to this channel if you want similar videos on various different topics such as overwhelm, nervous system regulation, spirituality, inner healing, many topics I'm going to be sharing on this channel. So if you feel the vibe and you want to get notified whenever I release a new video, do subscribe to my channel and remember to like this video as well. It helps me greatly. And share it with anyone that you know might be struggling with overwhelm and who could benefit from this video. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm sending you so much love and blessings.